Okay, let's talk about supplements. Now, as the name implies, these things are supposed to supplement your current nutrition, your current lifestyle, whatever. This could be in terms of nutrients, vitamins, minerals. Now, the implication, though, is that on a day to day basis, you're trying pretty decently to get what you can from food in real life. Supplementation is if it's unreasonable for you to get that much from food or daily life, and you need that help. For example, you live in Alaska, the sun doesn't, where is it that the sun doesn't come out for like 6 months? Wherever that place is, you probably need some vitamin D supplementation, which is fine. Let's say you need a bunch of protein, but you can't be cooking chicken every single day or whatever. Then protein powder, whatever it is, that can be helpful for you. But there's some crazy stuff going on in the supplement industry. And it can sometimes feel like a black market drug industry or the Wild West or something. The supplement industry itself is really, it's pretty unregulated by the FDA. Not that being regulated by the FDA means it's good to begin with, but it's there's not a lot of oversight. You can kind of just say, hey, this pill has a bunch of goat semen in it. I think that exists actually, or maybe the bull semen. Eat this and you'll have bigger muscles and higher sex drive or whatever. And whatever. They can just say at the bottom, these statements have not been verified by the FDA, and then you're good. Whatever. And a lot of times, as I said, they can just put the disclaimer on there and they don't need to really have a bunch of science backing the supplement at all, which is super cool. And since they're not that regulated, sometimes the suggested serving size or whatever it is might be totally off, or it only applies to certain people, because supplementation is supposed to add to what you are missing, which means there's not one serving for all, which means it can be easy to overconsume certain supplementation or just not understand it because the labeling is dog shit. Such as a lot of fat burning supplements. I think I did I don't know if I went over this in a previous episode, but basically fat burning supplements are kind of like, they're kind of like coffee. They have a bunch of caffeine and they get your body ready to expend a bit more energy. If you use it to actually exercise, which is kind of what pre-workout is. Pre-workout and fat burning supplements are very similar, at least in function. They get you really ready to work out, and if you do, well, it can help you exercise more, and then that can facilitate a body that would have less body fat on it over time. But some people are like, oh, fat burning, I take this and fat is burned off. Holy shit. That's not how it works. You can't just take that and sit down and expect something to happen. That's how physics works. It's those specifically are meant to kind of activate you into being fit. But given that most people don't know that, I don't think it's being communicated very well on the supplement itself. And even besides the bad information, sometimes these supplements can be as weird as an off-market fucking drug from around the corner. Meaning that it can have effects on your body that you wouldn't expect. It can interact with other things that are going on in your body. If you have certain health conditions, this could fuck you up as well. I mean, yeah, supplementation is kind of a weird thing. Because it's not medication. So you have to choose yourself if you want it, but you have to be knowledgeable enough to understand your own deficiencies. Most people don't understand anything. So that's a big ask. And if I sound mean when I say most people don't understand anything, I'm saying most people understand move more, eat less, calories in and out. That's a very easy to find out fact. Yet, was like 70% of the United States is overweight. So, in terms of putting stuff in your mouth, I don't think the understanding is very high. A lot of people use these for quick fixes too, just like the fat burning thing. They think, oh my God, I take this protein supplement, I'll just gain thick ass biceps, right? No. That's not how that works. Sometimes the marketing plays a role. Marketing can be pretty aggressive. They just choose some person who's fit or looks the way that you want and then say, yeah, I totally use this and only this to accomplish whatever the fuck the advertising says. So trust my appearance. Take it. And then people just take it and then, you know, don't have the mental context or their body can't handle it and then they get fucked up. Or, don't get results. Devil's advocate. Supplements are natural and safe, unlike synthetic medications. Just because something's natural doesn't mean it's safe. Just want to point that out, that there are a lot of plants that would kill you if you ate them. Same. Some of these things can be as bad for you as medication, or as dangerous anyway. So that's stupid. They provide necessary nutrients that modern diets lack. Well, the modern American diet, yeah, it does lack a lot of nutrients, but that's not something your diet has to lack. Now, I know certain locations maybe have harder access to certain foods and blah, blah, blah. They might be lacking a certain thing. Maybe you're vegan, you're lacking B12, whatever it is. Whatever the deficiencies are for whatever your situation is. Aside from those, you can control your diet pretty well. So these aren't supplements aren't necessary to get those nutrients. Not all the time, anyway. So if your modern diet lacks certain things, try to fix it with food, possible. Next, devil. Using supplements proactively can prevent chronic diseases. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, if we're talking for preventable disease, I mean, you can prevent obesity, but most people don't do it. So do you honestly think people will intelligently use supplements to know which disease they can sidestep? I have a lot of faith in people here. I suppose it's a true thing, though. It's kind of like saying a knife can help you lose weight because you can chop your fingers off. I mean, sure. It's technically true. It's not a statement I would put out there, though. Experts who dismiss supplements are influenced by pharmaceutical interests. Joke's on you. I'm not a fan of unnecessary supplements or big pharma. Taking in something your body doesn't need for no reason, I don't like, regardless of where it comes from. Personally. And am I an expert? I don't know. I don't know about that, man. All right, let's get into a bit of numbers here. Apparently, 57% of American adults report using dietary supplements, at least in 2018. That's over half. I wonder what it is now, probably with advertising and shit. Maybe it's more, or maybe because of inflation and people being broke, maybe it's less. I don't know. But about half of people take dietary supplements, which is funny because most Americans eat like complete dog shit. So if they just kind of altered the way that they already eat, I don't know if the supplementation would be super necessary, to be honest. I didn't know this one. This is funny. About 23,000 emergency room visits every year in America are linked to supplement-related side effects. Most often the weight loss supplements, the sexual enhancement supplements, or bodybuilding products, whatever the hell that means. You got thousands of people going in to the emergency room because their Viagra fucked them up. That's wild. Or the bull semen shit I was talking about. Whatever it is. I don't know if Viagra counts as a supplement. I don't think so. But I think that bull semen thing is it's meant to do the same thing. If you don't believe me, like look it up. There's a supplement out there. I think. I'm pretty damn sure there's one that involves something about bull testicles or bull semen. Look it up. I'm serious. Anyway, from 2007 to 2016, there's close to 800 dietary supplements that were just kind of not really looked over very well. About 150 companies are to blame for that. And yeah, many of those contain more than one unapproved drug. So that's cool. Less than 10% of people taking supplements actually have a nutritional deficiency. Shocker, I know. Personally, for me, if you're of a certain level of activity, then, in general, eating a lot of protein is pretty good for you and for your body. But if you're at a certain level, you need more protein than average, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. So getting a lot of that in can be kind of challenging. So I do supplement. I use protein powders sometimes. I use Kachava, which is awesome. It's basically a meal replacement, but the protein amount is fucking high. I also use metabolic protein powder from Blueprint. That one, by the way, is sick as fuck because you know a lot of protein, you mix it up and it's kind of chunky or chalky or whatever it is. This one, the one from Blueprint, this blends the best I've ever fucking seen. It turns into straight up liquid. You know, sometimes you have to put in a bunch of extra milk or water, whatever it is you're using, to make sure it's liquidy and not, you know, a very thick shake. This one, I put in the same amount of milk. At the end of it, I'm like, okay, I used too much almond milk because this is just straight up liquid. The protein just, it mixes absolutely perfectly in there. So you can use less liquid to make that. So I recommend that one too. There's one I would recommend maybe if you want. There's a protein that's a protein powder that is called Space Milk. It has like, it's just like pure protein, basically. And everything I mentioned so far is there's no dairy in it or anything like that. And the Space Milk has like nothing. If you're like, oh, I can't take a pea protein or whatever, Space Milk, I don't know what the fuck it's made of. It's got like just protein. It's just that. Thing is that it doesn't taste very good, and it's not like it tastes bad. It has that unflavored flavor, but that kind of overpowers a lot of what I put in there. So not a big fan of that one. But if you want one of the purest ones you can get, Space Milk is good. I'd probably recommend Kachava maybe overall for taste. Metabolic protein from Blueprint is one I'd recommend if you want really effective protein, because the guy behind it, Brian Johnson, is fucking insane and he's trying to optimize living. So that protein's probably pretty optimal for you. And yeah, honestly, for supplementation beyond kind of dietary stuff, you're talking about minerals or stuff for your balls or whatever the fuck it is. Maybe ask your doctor about look at your blood tests. What are you actually lacking? If you see a blood test and you're lacking vitamin D or iron, then maybe you should supplement those. And then the other stuff, don't worry about it right now. Because there is such a thing as taking in too many vitamins and minerals, and that's also bad. So what I say is get some data and do that. And also for supplements as well, this should be common knowledge, I guess, but don't get the fucking candy supplements. What I mean by that is you're getting, oh man, I'm getting protein supplementation, and it's fucking banana pancake shit. I say this from experience. I got this. There's a really popular brand called Ghost Protein, which I've only had their vegan banana protein powder, which it just, you know, a lot of stuff just adding up to something that's probably not great, but that was probably my least favorite I've ever had in my life. I would mix just even like half a scoop of that with a bunch of other stuff, and that flavor would overpower. It's just like corrupted sugar is what it tasted like. I was not a fan of that whatsoever. I had to throw it out. It just was not good. It felt like trash. You know, and the candy-ish protein bars, were just borderline just a chocolate bar or something. Just obviously don't fucking go for that. If you're trying to supplement your health, make it better, don't choose the fucking candy options, all right? First of all, it's fucking candy that you're doing. Secondly, to get that candy in, it's probably replacing stuff that is actually helpful for you. So it just seems obvious, but just gotta say, don't fucking do that. Just eat better. Just eat better. Get the data, look at what you lack, get more of that as naturally as you can. For things that are unreasonable, then supplement. Does that sound fair? All right. Check your blood tests before you supplement, and yeah, I hope you make it. See you next time.